Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show.
ShowRatings.tv Pilot Roundtable, a Southgate Media Group podcast. I'm Kyle Tremblay, and I'm the editor-in-chief of ShowRatings.tv, a user-driven television review website. You can rate and review all your favorite shows online at www.showratings.tv. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Olivia Richards. Olivia, hello.
Hey, what's up?
All right. We are venturing back into the land of crime procedurals.
Oh, this is my happy place.
Happy place. We enjoyed Battle Creek, which premiered Sunday. This now is not just the land of crime procedurals. This is the cyber land of crime procedurals because it is CSI Cyber. Which
so promising.
I mean, like the first time you heard the name CSI Cyber, did you think it was a real show? Because it doesn't feel like a real show to me, right?
It feels like one of those, like when other shows like make fun of like the real world shows that we have. Like if like, a sitcom had like a character who's like, I'm watching CSI Cyber, and you'd laugh because you're like, oh my God, that's so funny because we have so many CSIs. And then it actually happens in the real world and you're stuck with it, like existing in your life.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I had heard this show existed, and I believed it to be true. Like 75% of me believed this was a real show because I saw enough commercials. I completely forgot the premiere was last night. I was reminded by like a blog post. I was like, "Whoa, it's on!" It's like a random Wednesday. You're just gonna drop CSI Cyber on me. So, what did you think of this pilot?
It happened.
It did happen.
I watched it. Oh God, I mean, it's another CSI. I mean, I think that's basically all there was. It's bringing it into the 21st century of modern technology.
Yeah,
that was about all that was.
I feel like it's bringing us into, like, alternatively, like the next decade of technology and then the previous decade of technology. I don't know if this show demonstrated that it has an understanding of, quote, 21st century technology. I feel like the show has a tenuous at best grasp on its source material, which is
a lot of digital things happening.
Digital things happen. First of all, how dare you call this just another CSI? Because I wrote a post called A Brief Summary of the CSI Cyber Premiere, which people can read at showratings.tv right now, because I was so delighted by how stupid this was. So I just want to, really, it's not even an article, I just wrote some bullet points where I summarized the episode. I just want to go I'll go through some special selections with you.
Yes.
As I read them. So this show stars Patricia Arquette. The great Patricia Arquette, Oscar winner from like last week.
Somebody literally just put that in one of their reviews, or I think it was like a piece of trivia that this had aired like the week after she just won.
Yeah, so she is like the very first scene is she is informed of a kidnapping by someone G-chatting her, like, you see that kidnapping with like a lowercase u. I was like, wow, the FBI is super chill about this.
So trendy.
So trendy. It's exactly, I mean, that is how like I G-chat. Although I don't do it about child kidnappings, but to each his own, I guess. So okay, and then like a bit later, James Vanderbeek shows up, making an appearance. What is your relationship with Dawson's Creek?
non-existent. I've
Non-existent?
seen it through like
Oh,
satire and parodies,
all
and
right.
I'm familiar with the actor.
You're,
But
you're you're
yeah,
too you're too young for the Dawson's Creek craze. I would have.
yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, see, I was right. That's in my like '90s sweet spot right there. So I was like in for like 2 seasons of Dawson and Joey and Pacey and the whole crew. So I will always have a soft spot for James Vanderbeek. He shows up as the sort of muscle of the crew. Like all these teams have to have someone who can do action scenes. So that's the Beak here. Um, He's introduced in a scene in which he is playing video games, and his character's name is Elijah Mundo, which is what a name.
Packs a punch.
Elijah Mundo. um, like shortly after he's introduced, Elijah Mundo is chatting with the neighborhood boy trying to get like his statement, and they are seamlessly having a conversation that integrates both how to beat level 13 in the made-up video game that the kid is playing, and also the abduction of the 6-month-old baby next door, which was
Just as a side note that
yeah,
had
super
happened.
cool, super cool. Um, so just to take a break for my little recap, what did you think of the performances? Since we've gotten through 2 of them, the main performances, the Beak and Patricia Arquette.
I oh god,
Mm,
apathy, just
yeah.
a lot of apathy because I feel like, especially I feel like it's been this trend that we've been watching these pilots, and it's been these incredible actors like in any other role. Like obviously Patricia Arquette just won an Oscar. Like
Yeah.
she's an amazing actress. She's very, dynamic if given the right material, but it's like it's been this new trend even like with what we had just been previewing in our last podcast. With actresses that it's like they're put in the role of like the tough woman in charge, and all of a sudden like these robotic, which is funny because I mean it's CSI Cyber, but yeah, these like robotic like very logic driven performances of getting
Yeah.
this case cracked, and her just barking orders at people, and
Ugh.
just going straight through the book, and it's just
Like,
so draining to watch.
yeah, nothing here was like as unintentionally hilarious as Juliette Lewis's performance in Secrets and
Oh,
Lies.
God.
Like,
That was its own category.
yeah, that was its own category. But Patricia Arquette is so mailing this in. Like, she's just like, I was surprised there wasn't a scene where the producers of the show write her a paycheck. Because that's so clearly what she's here for, and you might as well just cut the charade and just show it on camera. Because, I mean, she's just so bored and not doing anything. Like,
No.
she's just, like, sleepwalking away through lines. I actually think Vanderbeek is, like, he's giving it a go. Like, he's really trying here, and I don't think there's anything really wrong with his performance. It's just he doesn't have a character to play.
No.
It's just no one really has a character to play, to be honest. Like, we meet early on. We meet the chubby bearded fellow that's like on loan from Mixology as the best friend for like every sitcom this season. The chubby bearded best friend who says inappropriate things has now appeared on CSI Cyber.
He's made a transition over.
He's made a transition. The FBI recruited him. Really liked his work on Manhattan Love Story. Super big fan. And so his archenemy, wouldn't you know it, is Lil Bow Wow, making an appearance in the main cast on TV. And Bow Wow's first line, which I transcribed because I enjoyed it, upon meeting his fellow hacker turned teammate, is, "Hey Chubby, keep my name out of your mouth. I'm not your braces." So that's what we're dealing with here.
That kind of amazing writing that just
I mean,
had me hooked.
if anyone can capture the tone of the hard streets, it's CSI Cyber. CSI Cyber. So I mean, I'm sure that for years from now, all kids are going to be using that sick line. But so the episode plods along. I mean, there's just not a lot to go on here. Like, it's a pretty standard episode of procedural TV. A child is abducted. At one point, the abducted child, in fact, in the climactic scene, the abducted child is in a car that drives off a cliff into a lake. And then Vanderbeek dives to the bottom of the lake, pulls the child out, and then Patricia Arquette gives it one breath of CPR, and the child revives and is totally fine and unscratched. I enjoyed that. I, at that point, I thought it was like a Cabbage Patch Kid doll. To be honest, like I thought this whole thing was like this was gonna take a turn, and we find out that there was no child after all.
That would have been a great twist. Like that would have been
Yeah,
interesting.
that would have made this episode way more interesting. Were there any scenes that you latched onto or enjoyed or thought were ridiculous or anything?
I mean,
I know I'm putting you on the spot to pick out literally one scene of this episode that was interesting in any way, good or bad.
uh, it was all one big blur of
Yeah.
interrogations and everything that we expect CSI to be, plus or minus a lot of technology happening.
Yeah. Did you like how they cracked the password on the final computer that gave the baby's location?
Oh yeah, you always need those. I don't know. It's not. Most times you can say like pulse pounding, but I'm like when the entire thing happens in a flat line, you get like one little blip, and then it's like, oh, okay.
So the password, as Patricia Arquette immediately reasons, is tattooed across the body of the head gang member. So they use their camera to take photos of the like 6 tattoos on this guy's body. They send them to Lil Bow Wow back at the office, and he literally raps the password to them. Like that.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. No,
that's how the case is resolved. I know, I know that at that point of the episode you're probably like in a coma, like you've passed out, but I just needed to get that out there. Like that's like what happens. That's not even exaggeration. That is the end of this episode. That's how they break the case.
I feel like that was like their thing with it is like they have like Patricia Arquette and James Van Der Beek as sort of like the by the book cops, and they go and they do all like the tough legwork, and then they have like the trendy young team back at the headquarters rapping clues to each other and that's what I got from it.
Exactly so. But like the problem is they don't let Patricia Arquette and James Van Der Beek be uncool. Like again, like Arquette is like IMing at the start of this episode. Like he's not like a Luddite, you know?
No.
And I feel like if you wanted to make this show interesting in any way at all, the answer would have been that Patricia Arquette is a career bureaucrat who found herself leading this agency, this cybercrime protection unit, like kind of against her own will. Like she made a bureaucratic move and ended up here, and is not familiar at all with technology. And Van Der Beek is like an agent who was taken with her, like a very traditional FBI agent who's like a field agent. You know, he doesn't play video games. You know, he lifts weights and he like solves crimes. And then they're paired with Bow Wow, the genius hacker, and Chubby Bearded Guy, the genius hacker, and young woman who had no role in this pilot other than to talk to Bow Wow 3 times. But like, right, like some central tension, maybe, like at all. Like Patricia Arquette's character is so familiar with all this cyber stuff. Like, there's no need for any other character other than Van Der Beek to like run down motorcycles on foot. Like, at what point?
Why not?
At what point in this episode, a sniper shows up, shoots the fellow bad guy, inexplicably doesn't shoot the good guys. You would think that he would shoot the FBI agents if he's going to shoot anybody in this scene, but no, he shoots his partner, the bad guy. Or she, actually. It's found out to be a she, is the motorcycle rider. And then she gets on her dirt bike and rides off. Van Der Beek, who is starting probably 300 yards away from her, on foot closes the gap on the motorcycle enough to shoot the rider and kill her. Like, it was a motorcycle versus foot chase, and foot won. So I mean, it's a ridiculous pilot. It does all the stupid CSI stuff that all CSIs do. If there was any kind of central tension between the cast, or the characters were different in any appreciable way, other than looking different, I feel like there might be something here. But as it stands, this show is just dead. Just lifeless. I mean, I think that's the thing with
I mean, what at least initially grabbed me, because I used to actually watch the original CSI.
Me too.
And you had characters like Gil Grissom and like,
Yes.
you know, everything with him, like, you know, slowly going deaf and like how that affects his job and like, you know, starting a relationship with one of the younger members of the team and like, you know, how that works with their age difference. Like, those are the kind of compelling stories, but I don't see anything like that happening on the show. I think the show is so wrapped up in like, how are you going to make like CSI Cyber? Like, how is this going to be like the new big thing? But it's like these characters who are just completely like, they're so focused. I feel like the biggest thing with the show is like, how do we make this trendy? But I'm like, they're not, look, where is the story? Like, why is this different than anything I've seen before? And why am I watching it?
Yeah. Yes. This is a show about technology that does not understand technology, which we've seen from time to time and is kind of a CBS specialty. but yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a hook. It doesn't. Everyone on screen is bored. The audience is bored. I enjoyed the fact that it was so bad. I do feel like this pilot made its way all around to when it was so bad it was kind of good. Like, that's my only thing. Like, I enjoyed how out of touch it was. I like it when a show is very sincerely trying to do a good job and just failing. Like, there's something kind of endearing about that to me, that the show really wants you to think it understands technology and is just betrayed by what's on screen, like, at every turn. And so, like, you know, like I mean, it's like throwing in like, oh, there's an online baby auction. Like, it's like, really? We're going there in episode 1? And like, as to what you said about the original CSI, it's like I watched probably 6 seasons of that show. Like, I was addicted to the original CSI.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to remember anything from CSI now. Like, it's, you know, it's kind of a show that you just watch and then it goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
The one thing I definitely remember is that Gil Grissom loved bugs.
Yes.
Right? Like, he was obsessed with bugs, and I feel like the first scene of that show was him, like, you know, just tinkering with bugs. And it's like, where is that level of character? Like, and don't tell me it's Vanderbeek loving video games, because that's just ridiculous. Like, it's so clearly, like, designed to establish his cyber credentials. Like, give me something like a weird detail about Patricia Arquette. Like what is that character? Like, who is? I still can't tell you who she is, even having watched this pilot. Like, I don't know who that character is. I don't know what her point of view is. And with Gil Grissom, I always felt like I knew that character's point of view. And so I feel like this pilot's failing is that none of the characters felt like they were real people. They all felt like they were cardboard cutouts designed to be like, to say like supposedly hip things about the cyber world. And it just failed. It just failed.
Oh god. Yeah, miserably.
All right, Olivia. Thumbs up or thumbs down on CSI Cyber?
Big thumbs down emoji.
Yeah, as much as I enjoyed, and I do hope people read my little recap review of it, because I had a lot of fun writing that, but this is not a show I'm ever going to watch again. I got my one night of enjoyment. It gave me an hour where I was having fun and reveling how stupid it was, and now I will never think about CSI Cyber again. So, thumbs down from me as well. And that wraps up this episode of the Pilot Roundtable podcast. You can read Olivia and I online at www.shortings.tv. Follow Olivia on Twitter at RichardsOlivia, and follow me on Twitter at KyleLovesTV. You can find this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts at southgatemediagroup.com. Thank you for listening.